Hey guys, it's Scott here from Horse Racing Daily, and today's video is going to be three of probably the most overlooked horses in the 2022 Kentucky Derby. And I say this in regards to, if y'all can remember the 2018 Kentucky Derby, still regard he had ran as a 2-year-old and was doing very good. Uh, in the low South maturity, he was, in that three-way dead heat with McKenzie and Salamini. Then he went on to win the LeCompte. And in the Risen Star of Sanity the Derby, he kind of tailed off a little bit. But in the Derby, he ran up to get fourth, and the odds was 85-1 that year. And you only got those odds because when a horse seems to run a bad race on the Derby trail, he tends to get overlooked by the betting public. They can fall out of favor real quick. And in this Kentucky, we're going to look at three horses that can maybe have some of the same pattern. And the first horse is going to be Smile Happy. And as a 2-year-old, Smile Happy, he was bet at one time number one in the Kentucky Derby future wager. And after the Risen Star and the Bluegrass, now he's going to go to, not in the top of the Kentucky Derby wagering. It'll probably go off at 20, 25-1 if I had to take a guess at the odds. All because of the Risen Star, he got second to Epicenter, who's going to be the favorite in the Kentucky Derby. And in the Bluegrass, he lost to Zandon, who's probably going to go off as a second or third choice in the Derby. Just depends on how the bet poet decides to bet Taiba and Messier and some of them. But this horse really hasn't done that much wrong in just two races. And Kenny McPeak can be a sneaky trainer sometimes at putting horses, some of these big races at some generous odds. And he's that type of horse that could finish third or fourth, if not maybe potentially win it, that you would just look at and say, I can't believe I let that horse beat me. And you would know also in his past races. I mean, he wasn't bet number one in the Kentucky Derby Futures for no reason. At one time, this was the cream of the crop for the Derby Trail. And that's going to bring me to my second horse. And that's going to be none other than Messier, who uh, lost the Low South Futurity to Slow Down Andy, who Slow Down Andy came back to win the Sunland Derby. But then the Robert B. Lewis, Messier went on to win by 15 lengths, and he earned a 127 time form rating in that race. And then the Centennial Derby, he came back to run a 123 on the time form scale. So this horse has ran fast, but because he got second to Taiba, and Taiba is going to kind of be the horse everybody wants to, I think, gravitate to when it gets closer to race time, because he's undefeated. He's might as well say a Baffert horse, even though he's not really going to be trained by Baffert on this particular race. But people tend to go to that type of horse, and this type of horse could get really overlooked. But if you look back at his past performances, he's really done nothing wrong. He's never finished out of the exacta. Uh, his only loss came to an undefeated Taiba and Slow Down Andy, who went on to win the Sunland Derby. But Slow Down Andy's kind of a weird horse, and I'm glad he's not running the Derby because I wouldn't really know what to do with him. And that's going to bring me to my third horse, and that will be none other than Simplification. And if you've been watching any of my videos, you see me refer to this horse very frequently. And that's because in the Mucho Macho Man, he went gate to wire and won the race by 4 lengths. And then in the Holy Bull, he had that really bad break at the start that I think if he would have finished fourth or fifth, you couldn't have faulted the horse for that. But instead, he went on to finish a very good second and kind of ran out of gas there towards the end, trying to catch White Barrio. But in the Fountain of Youth, he put it all together and ran a really good race. And in the Florida Derby, he chased a hot pace and fell out to be third. But because of that Florida Derby effort, I think if you're willing to bet that some of his previous form is going to hold, that you could get maybe 30 or 40-1 on him. And those are the kind of horses that could, get into your superfect and make it pay really good. Like, it's not very often that all four favorites get in the Derby. Somewhere you got to start taking chances looking for horses that can get there at some good odds. And those are three horses I really think have a chance to potentially spice up your superfect, especially if two of those can get in there. Because I can see Messier going off at 10, 15-1. and Smile Happy 20, 25 to 1, Simplification 30 or 40 to 1. A couple of those horses getting there, especially on a year like this where there's no clear cut standout favorite. Like I think you're going to see Epicenter, Zan, and Taiba be bet roughly in that 5 to 1 range, right about the same. Zan has been working out really good, so I won't be surprised if he could maybe at the last minute jump up and get favoritism. But all it takes is a couple of these, and you could potentially get that life changing payout. But thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to the post position draw today.